Alright, my friends, well, this is how I get ready to record a video. If you didn't know yet, that's how I do it. I also think that's how a lot of people do it before they record anything or do a workshop or get on stage. That's my strategy. Before I get on stage, before I kind of share my energies with other people in that way, with a crowd, with you online, I get some tunes going and I dance, I move my body, I move my energies, and then everything is so much easier. Yeah, that's just one tip. If you are toying with the idea of, making videos or any sort of things, then it will make things so much more chill. Just get those energies moving, put yourself into a good mood, to a good vibe, and yes. All right, so today I want to talk about how you can really get to know yourself, how to really find out who you are, that person there that you look you look at yourself every day in the mirror. You go to sleep with yourself, you wake up with yourself, and yet so many people are so disconnected from themselves. They know other people better than they know themselves. Isn't that crazy? So, here's the deal. I believe that there's nothing more important on your journey to living an amazing life, a life of meaning and purpose, a life that allows you to serve the world, other people. There's nothing more important than actually getting to know yourself, than actually connecting with your soul, your heart, with everything that you really are, below the layer of conditioning and everything that you were told to be and do and believe, but actually go beneath that to a place where you're pure and raw, just you, like really you, before your parents happened and school and the media and all of that. Because it's still there, it's just covered in layers and layers and layers and layers. So anyway, I think that connecting to the part of ourselves, connecting to our bodies, connecting to our emotions, it's so essential, it's so important if you really want to live a full life, if you really want to feel whole and fulfilled. Yeah. So anyway, I've been on my journey. Essentially I've been on my journey my entire life, but I've been on this deeper journey, that journey inwards, for about 6-7 years. And, some of us, most of us actually, we are initiated onto that journey through some form of something that life throws at us, like a breakup, a divorce, or maybe you get thrown out of your job, or you lose a lot of money, or, maybe your health, you face an illness, a disease. Those are the things that is kind of like this little nudge, or not, maybe it's more like a push from the universe. Kind of like, okay, you're ready now, go. And then it's hard to keep your eyes closed. So that's what happened to me. Back then, had a big breakup, shook my world, everything broke apart, and I had to go inwards. I had to really finally start to figure out who I really am. And so one of the first things that I did, and that just really opened up this entire world, and that today it's like, I tell people it's like brushing your teeth. That's how normal it should become in your life, and that is meditation. I talk about it a lot all over the place. I've made videos about it. I'll link to one up here. Meditation, guys, if you don't meditate yet every day, and even if you're just starting out, just do 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. But it really should become something that is so essential for you that you don't want to miss it. It will be like brushing your teeth or going to the bathroom or taking a shower, and it's just the same thing. You sit your ass down, you close your eyes, and you connect. You gotta connect. You gotta give yourself that time every day to just connect with yourself, to have an intention to connect with yourself. And meditation is just the best way to do it. It allows you to connect to your emotions, to your feelings, to whatever is going on. It allows you to connect to your body, to actually feel your body, to connect to your breath. Your breath. Your heart, that thing that beats, all the time, keeps you alive. You want to connect to that. All these things, And that is kind of like the doorway. It's that massive gate that you then walk through, and then suddenly so many more doors open. But meditation, for me personally, and I see it with so many other people, is like, all right, here's where we start. The second thing is, and it kind of, for me anyway, they both sort of merged in the beginning when I started out, and that is yoga. When people tell me, how do I get to know myself? How do I get onto this journey of, personal development and all of that? I'm like, meditate and do yoga. That's how simple it is to get started. Yoga allows you to connect to your body. And that in itself is just so important to do if you really want to figure out who you are. You can't just stay up here, because here, this is just monkeys. You gotta go deeper. You gotta connect with your body and with its signals and its messages. And so yoga is such a beautiful way to do that, because it incorporates meditation and, depending on what sort of yoga you look into, but any form of like hatha or vinyasa or kundalini or yin yoga, whatever, incorporate a form of, maybe meditation, a bit of pranayama, breath work, movement, maybe some chanting, singing. So I really encourage you to start out meditating and doing yoga on a, at best, daily basis. Meditation, you got to do it daily for it to be really effective. There's no point in doing it like a couple of times a week. I mean, it's better than nothing, don't get me wrong, but I'd rather you do 2 minutes a day, every day, than 20 minutes once a week or something. And with moving your body and connecting to your body, make that a daily habit. Even if you only have 20 minutes, go online on YouTube, whatever, find a yoga class, or go out in your city and try out all sorts of yoga studios. But you gotta do that on a regular basis. It's all about forming these healthy habits. Okay, that's that. Now, and as you are on this journey, and one thing that was so... Man, that was just a game changer for me, was to really connect to my emotions and my feelings, to get over the fear of actually feeling. I was so afraid of my own feelings that I just didn't want to feel things. And that really disconnects you from yourself. So learning how to feel, and then connecting to my body, and then connecting to my intuition, to my heart, to really... feel into what do I really want? How do I get answers to all my questions, when I have to make a decision, all of that. That process of getting to a place where I trust my feelings more than what's going on up here was just a huge breakthrough for me to really, really get to know myself. And eventually you're gonna start asking yourself the big questions, like, who am I? What are my dreams? What do I really want to do in this lifetime? How can I serve? What does life want from me? What do I want from life? What do I want to achieve before I die? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? But also, what are my fears? What are my limiting beliefs? What are my passions? What am I interested in? What are my biggest challenges and struggles in life? I really encourage you to get a journal and start answering all of those questions. Starting to answer the big questions and not trying to get the answers from here, but from here, you're going to be surprised what comes up. So I invite you to, maybe after you watch this video, go through some of these questions that I just asked you and take maybe 30 minutes or maybe an hour and just write. This is not about coming up with the best answers. Like, it's just you reading it, so you can totally be sloppy. But just take the time. Take 30 minutes, take 60 minutes, set a timer, and just write, and see what wants to be expressed. And you know, these days we're so lucky in 2018 that there are so many amazing resources out there that help us to get to know ourselves deeper. There is just endless amounts of books on personal development, you know, and spirituality. And, you know, there's a lot of resources out there these days. Let it be books, let it be courses, events, and workshops. You know, I've been to Tony Robbins' event, I go to Dr. Joe Dispenza's events a lot. I go wherever, you know, I'm pulled to learn more from, whoever that might be. Maybe I read someone's book and then they do a workshop or an event nearby, then I go there. I constantly have this yearning to grow more, to evolve more, but also to get to know myself even deeper. It never stops. It's a lifelong sort of thing. And, you know, maybe in terms of books, I don't know, maybe you want to get into Conversations with God by Neale Donald Walsh. Doesn't matter if you don't believe in God, just read the book. Maybe you want to dive into some Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, or actually even better, A New Earth. Maybe some Pema Chodron, she's amazing. Maybe some Osho. There's a really good book by Elisa Romero called Meet Your Soul. That's really amazing. Maybe read some Elizabeth Gilbert. Listen to some Alan Watts. So there's so much. Tony Robbins, as I mentioned, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Bruce Lipton is really awesome as well. Kyle Cease is my hero. So, oh man, so many beautiful people out there who've done the work and who share their learnings and their experiences with you so that you can connect to these parts of yourself. And eventually also, depending where you are in your life with your challenges and whatnot and your patterns, you want to look at that a bit closer. And if you really, really want to get to know yourself and really figure out who you are, look into your childhood. Figure out why you are the way you are. Why do you do the things you do? Why do you believe in the things that you believe in? A lot of that is rooted in our childhood. So go back. Look where there's wounds. Look where there's healing that needs to be done still. And look where there are patterns in your daily life now. Is it in relationships? Is it maybe with money, your money mindset? Is it maybe in your career? Do you still have issues going on with your family? Do you have a lot of drama in your life? What's going on with your health? Is there a recurring pattern? So look at all of these things very closely. There's so many messages in your life everywhere. Look at the people that you surround yourself with. Who are they? Yeah. And also a really good recommendation is maybe you want to get into astrology. I'm a huge fan of astrology and getting my astrological chart read every year, maybe a couple of times or so. Maybe human design is also a really cool way to learn more about yourself, or the gene keys. So there are a lot of modalities and ways these days that you can learn more about yourself. I mean, and then there is personality tests and, you know, all sorts of stuff. So figure out what calls you, and just try things out. And I think that generally, I believe, is one huge advice from my end anyway, and that is try a lot of things out. The more you try out stuff, the more you experiment, the more you will learn about yourself. Let it be with, you know, things you're curious about or that you're interested in, passions, and just whatever sparks your interest just a little bit. Maybe look into it, do a workshop, do a course, or just, you know, try stuff out. I'm just learning how to draw these days, and I really suck at it, but I was curious about it, and I'm doing it, and I'm learning a lot about myself by doing that. Or I started dancing more just to, you know, and wow, that's been very insightful as to, you know, who is this Conni that is, you know, kind of feels weird to dance back then anyway. And now I'm like, woof, dance, bring it on, ecstatic dance, whatever. And that brings me also to my last point. Spend a lot of time alone. I know it's so easy to always surround ourselves with people and distract ourselves and watch Netflix and go out and drink and socialize, but the best way if you really want to get to know yourself is by spending time with yourself. And so I encourage you to, you know, if maybe you have to make an effort or a bit of make it an intention, but to frequently spend time with yourself. Also go traveling on your own, just like, you know what, even if it's just for a weekend, go somewhere by yourself on your own. Go and have dinner by yourself somewhere, or go to a coffee shop by yourself. I know, like, for maybe a lot of you, this is normal. For me, it's super normal. I totally love going to coffee shops by myself and do some work or some writing, reading, or go and have lunch or dinner by myself. Like, for me, I love doing that. Actually, sometimes I like that better than having meals with other people. So yeah, just spend time on your own, go traveling for a few days or for a few weeks or several months, whatever. Man, you will learn so much about yourself doing just that. And that's it, my friends. Those are all the things that I utilize on a daily or very frequent basis to dive even deeper into this Conni, this person, this body, this soul that I am and that I inhabit and that I'm granted in this lifetime. And I really hope that I gave you a few suggestions to help you connect to yourself more and really figure out who you are. And I'm curious to see where this leads you, and I'd love you if you shared a few of your insights or ways that you get to know yourself or have gotten to know yourself in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. Bye.